Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry, I took a week off. I just decided to take some time out. Spending all this time on social media is not good for the brain. My husband's shifts have swapped over. He was on nights, he's now on days. We spent a few days together and I just needed a bit of a detox from everything Harry and Meghan. And then it's not just them, it's just, you know, when you're on social media and you're trying to research videos and stuff, there's so much stuff to do with this obviously pandemic that's worldwide, and you're reading a lot of negative stuff and there's a lot of people attacking each other. Naturally, politics has come into it and it's a lot of people attacking and just moaning, and it just got a little bit soul destroying. So I've just been doing a bit of photography, teaching my husband how to use his camera, lots of dog walks and stuff, and yeah, just as I said, just generally having like a mental sort of detox from it. So unfortunately, due to the speed that the Sussexes dump stuff on us, I have got a lot of catching up to do. So there will be a video today, a video tomorrow, and a video the following day to hopefully get me on board and catch up with everything that has been happening. So obviously I'm probably going to go over some stories that you're already aware about, but as I said, this is always about my views and opinions on them. So first up, we had the announcement that Meghan is going to revive her blog, The Tig. I think we knew this from some time ago. There was, you know, a story that came out last year about how she'd renewed it, or even the year before, I think she'd renewed it, although she wasn't going to use it. And there was another one called Tig Tots that she'd also did, and it was obviously, this is Meghan's initial plans that were beginning to come underway, the fact that she had no intentions to stay in part of the royal family. So this is all stuff we knew. But what made me laugh is the way that the PR presented it. It's going to be a modern house style blog that will rival Goop, Gwyneth Paltrow's. And I was thinking, oh, what a way to make friends in Hollywood. One, I don't think Gwenny's gonna be shaking in her loafers just yet. The fact that she is born of Hollywood royalty, she is a Hollywood actress, she's got an amazing circle of top Hollywood friends, producers, directors, and I really can't see how Meghan would even dream of taking on the Goop. There's lots of quirky stuff on her website. I don't think it's the sort of website that you, me and the average Joe would go to. You know, there's anything from weird cleanse diets that you can do. You can buy some interesting smelling candles. That was my favourite one that came out. Gwyneth had candles made and they sold out immediately. This tells you the weirdness of some of the people in the world that smelt exactly like her lady parts. I kid you not, it's an actual true factual thing that she did, and yeah, I really can't see Meghan competing with that, nor would you want her to. So I'd say that the Hollywood market for kind of kooky stuff made by a really famous person, or not made by, but plugged by someone, yeah, I'd say that Gwyneth has cornered that market. It just made me chuckle the way it was, that's going to rival Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. And I was thinking, oh, she's not even going to be a fly in the soup for Gwyneth, is she? Another story that came out was one of the negative ones that are now starting to leak through. Obviously the palace and the UK media maybe had not been so willing to take on stories like this, but we had lots of leaks about the fact that Meghan was not a nice person. But a videographer that had previously worked with Meghan, as in pre-Harry, had said that she was really an unpleasant person to work with, and if he had the chance, he would never work with her ever again. He said that she was rude, she was very conceited, she behaved like she was an A-list superstar, coming in, baseball cap down, wouldn't talk to anyone, had an entourage, he said, of about 12 people. Now, bearing in mind she was an unknown, really not famous D-list actress, and he said that he's worked with lots of people, and he said even the A-list divas that have actually earned the title of being able to call a diva were nicer than her. Her list of demands were unbelievable. She made it very clear that she got to oversee every single photograph, and if she did not approve of it, then it would not go ahead. He was under strict instructions that he was not allowed to film her feet. Apparently she's got a problem with her feet. Upon doing the close-ups, and I try and stay away from bitchy comments, but even I was like, yeesh. Yeah, I mean, feet are not the greatest thing. I'm not a massive foot person myself, but yeah, she really didn't want, she made a very big point out of her feet were meant to be covered up, and that's why when you see a lot of promo shots of Meghan, she's doing kind of like weird things with her feet, certain shoes. It's probably why the shoes never fit and stuff. So let's hope that Harry is not a foot man. The whole story, however, was not about about her feet. It was just the fact her rudeness, and apparently her friends all used to come in with her. She demanded on set only a certain type of champagne, and I just thought, she's always been a horrible person, really. I mean, it's that ego, isn't it? But if you can imagine if this was her ego pre-Harry, can you imagine? So all of the stories that we heard about her being abusive to staff, other people's staff mainly, even in Australia, I believe are true. I believe that she is not a nice person. I mean, some of the superstars that have defended her, Ellen is literally under fire at the moment yet again for being an unpleasant person to work for. Birds of a feather flock together. That's not to say that all famous people become rich and horrible, but there are certain few that I don't know. As they say, the fame goes to their head, but something else went to Meghan's head, and it certainly wasn't fame because she wasn't really famous enough. So following on from this, we had a PR Sussex counterattack. There was a negative story that's been released about how mean and horrible Meghan is. So naturally we had a fashion designer that worked with Meghan who said how wonderful that she was. She was generous, warm, welcoming and kind. It's almost as though Meghan had written those words herself. So it's quite the yin and yang, isn't it? But it's funny how that was a sort of like a counter PR story that shot out not too long after this guy came forward and spoke outwardly about Meghan, not in a positive light. So I can imagine there was a little smoke cloud going off somewhere in the LA hills. So the third story that came out in quick succession was the young lady, the smart work Zoom call that Meghan did. She had to have it released on the day of William and Catherine's wedding anniversary, naturally, but the young lady did successfully get her internship. But again, it was the way that the PR flogged the story to the masses, whether this was clickbait, the media trying to stir it up, or whether this genuinely is Meghan's PR actually stating this. They sold the story as the interviewee that Meghan Markle mentored landed the job. Right, she landed the internship, and congratulations to that young lady, but Meghan mentoring her. Now she's now going to be an intern, so now she's going to receive mentoring. I don't think having a 5-minute, well, probably less, chat with Meghan counts as mentoring. Mentoring is what I had when I was doing my wedding photography course. I had a woman that had 30 years more experience than me, and she was my mentor and became my friend. What Meghan did was a quick Zoom chat to this girl to say, hi, you're a beacon of hope and fingers crossed for her. And whilst it might have given her a boost, because it's obviously nice to hear from someone, especially if she is a fan of, it was the way that it was sold. She didn't get the job because of Meghan's mentoring. She got the job on her own merits. But you know, it's the way the newspapers like to sell these stories, stir in the pot. So finally, the one that loads of you messaged me about, what did I think about Archie's birthday? Well, let's be honest, no matter what had been released, there was always going to be an element or an air of people criticising them. If it had been a photograph, you would have had that, oh, it's Photoshop, it's a doll sort of brigade, and then it would have had all the conspiracy theories, which, to be fair, Harry and Meghan have definitely helped fuel. But however, we had another live video of a real baby, and it was the same baby from South Africa. So here's a thing that I'm just going to get off my chest. One, yes, it's a real baby. Two, I believe it is the same child from South Africa. I actually do believe, looking at the kid, if I'm completely honest, that he looks like a cross between Thomas Markle and Harry. I know lots of people have brought about the fact that Meghan is biracial and, you know, Archie is quite clearly white as snow. But you have to remember that Harry is a ginger. He's got the ginger gene, okay? Or the same as my husband's got the blonde gene. It is very, very, very fair-skinned. Archie looks very similar to Harry as he did as a baby. So obviously he's got Harry's kind of dominant gene coming through. Now Meghan, despite Doria being black, Meghan is biracial, but Meghan definitely took after her father. You know, she was very much, you look at pictures of her as a little girl, which coincides with a lot of the stories and stuff, Meghan looked white, and a lot of people didn't know that she was biracial, and this goes right up until the wedding, if I'm completely honest with you. But you know, the photographs of Meghan as a little girl, she looks like a little white girl with curly black hair and freckles. So obviously, and she looks very much like her sister Samantha, bearing in mind they've got completely different mothers. So what you've got there is, you've got Thomas Markle is a very dominant gene, Harry is a dominant gene, so Archie is gonna be white as snow because he looks like Harry, and to me, I think he's got the Markle nose. I think he looks like Thomas Markle. It's a little bit of divine justice. As Archie grows up, Meghan's going to look at that face. Bit nice for Thomas Markle knowing that his grandson actually does look like him, but it's a sad reminder that it's a child that he's probably never going to see. But join the club, Thomas, because that child's not going to see any of his family if Meghan has her way. So with that out of the way, what did I think? Well, I wasn't surprised that it was Meghan reading to Archie. Harry, you could hear in the background, it was Harry filming it. I found the book was boring. It was way too old for Archie. Having looked after my friend's children, worked in a crash many years ago and stuff, baby books for around about that age, they make noises, they rattle, they've got beautiful colours, they've, you know, the stuff to attract them. That book was boring as hell, and it was quite clearly meant for like a preschooler. It looked more of an optical illusion book, which I found very strange. I found it a strange book for her to be reading. So oddities I found with this, okay, you've got the fact that they're using Save the Children to, you know, this video of Archie came out for Save the Children, reading with mamas, as it were.
Great, you scared him away. Archie, look, you didn't scare him away. I didn't scare him away, you scared him away. Let's finish this book first, then we'll have that book. You know, maybe you were right. Maybe it was a rabbit. Thing is, now I'm actually thinking, that it was a duck. Should we get that book back too? We'll read this one next. That it was a duck. Well, anyway, now what do you want to do?
The perfect excuse for Meghan to be the main starring role in the video, and I felt she very much was. She wasn't reading the book to Archie, she was reading the book to the camera. Archie, being 1 year old or not, or older, quite clearly is very restless. I found it very odd that she would do it when he's so hyper. Why not wait until, you know, he's a bit more chilled, maybe he's had some food, he's sleepy, he's tired, you know, settle down with them and then read the book to him. But no, it was done almost impromptu. I thought that Meghan looked a mess. I thought that Archie, I don't know, he was sitting there just in a little vest and a nappy, and I thought, it's his birthday, you're again presenting him to the world for his first birthday. She didn't mention happy birthday to him once. There was no mention it was his birthday. She insisted on reading the book. You saw her eyes flash several times with annoyance, and I've watched this video several times. When Archie's having none of it, he's bored, he wants to get down, he has no real connection with Meghan, she's not really interacting with him, and he wants that other book, and you see him drop it to the floor for a few times. And then weirdly at the end of it, Archie does, however, start making eye contact to Harry, and he is quite clearly saying da da da, and Meghan at this point starts going, Duck Rabbit, the name of the book, and it's like you can see it in her face. She was annoyed that he was saying dada.
Bravo! Yay! Duck Rabbit.
So she almost tried to cover it up. My mum did say to me that one of the first things, I remember this story, that she said that when she had me, all of her friends had told her that babies will tend to say da 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 before they say ma ma ma. It's apparently easier for a baby to pronounce with, you know, with their words. So my mum apparently every day was ma 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 ma. Still, first word that came out was dada, and she said, you know, it really annoyed her. But this is Meghan on camera, and she doesn't, you just see the mask slip a bit. And it does make me wonder, I don't think she's got amazing patience, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like. Not now, he's a baby. Wait till he gets to 2, 3, when they get to that really defiant age, when they start saying, no, why, no, don't wanna. That'll be the time that I hope that he's got some good nannies around, if he's not already back in the UK at that point. Now, other things that came out about this reading with mother time, the fact that the book, it says Archie's Book Club, which Meghan was quite keen to show. This might make sense why she was choosing this book rather than a book actually meant for a child her son's age. Now, as it turns out, this is a present from Oprah. Apparently Oprah gives her friends 100 books and does them in the baby's, whatever the baby's name is, it's their little book club. It's a gift that she does. So this was Meghan promoting Oprah's present then, wasn't it? Because it wasn't about reading to her baby, giving him a book that was meant for his age. I just really felt it was very much the Meghan show. I found the whole video just narcissistic, really. I mean, I know it's 32 degrees or 33 degrees or whatever. I know it's a lot hotter in LA than what it is here. But there are so many nice, cool little baby clothes. He just looked like he was sitting there in a dirty diaper. If I'm honest, I know it's awful, but there was a story that came out and basically said that Meghan is 5 clips away from being trailer trash. Now, I'm not saying that, but this video, the way that it looked, the baby sitting there in the diaper, Meghan sitting there in a bloke shirt and short shorts and her hair scragged back and that. And I just thought, you could have just you made yourself look a bit more presentable, really, considering you were doing this for a charity. It was Archie's first birthday. You're presenting him to the world. I think this is the second time we've seen him on a video since he was, you know, presented to Desmond Tutu on their South Africa tour. And I just found the whole thing very, very off. The stories that came out that apparently they did throw a cake smash for him afterwards, and I thought, well, wouldn't that have been something a bit more fun for Archie and to share with people, that him crawling around getting dirty, like Catherine did with Prince Louis with the paint and stuff. And I thought, well, that's the kind of nice things if you want to share it. But it was done for reading a book club, to be part of the Famous Mamas book club, promoting Oprah's books. So I just find the whole thing really fake. I just don't think it was done with genuine warmth. And yet again, as with everything that they do, it's about self-promotion. Of course, Archie was going to be wheeled out. They have been absolutely getting smashed in the media due to this court case, and it's not going in the direction that they want. I just can't get to grips with the way she interacts with him. I don't know, even with Desmond Tutu, she was more concerned about just making sure that he had drool wiped off his face and supporting his neck. It wasn't really affection. It's very much presenting him to the camera. And the same with this, she wasn't reading to Archie. She wasn't interacting with Archie. She was interacting with the camera. It was like an audition, wasn't it? Maybe this is a route that Meghan wants to go down with Harry promoting Thomas the Tank Engine. Now she's reading. Maybe this is going to be an area that they go down, kids' educational books. I just hope they turn out to be a bit better than the book that she was reading to Archie at the time. Not so much the book's fault, but it was definitely the wrong age book for a child of that age. And I love the fact that Archie was having none of it. He can go off script, and to be honest with you, it did make me smile a little bit, because as much as she can get Harry to read her little scripts and little speeches that she writes out for him, you are never going to be able to get that kid when you're on camera to do what you want him to do. That is the beauty of children. So good luck with that one. And I love the fact Archie looked like half the time he was trying to escape. So speaking of escaping, tomorrow's video I will be talking about the great escape that they did under the cloak of darkness, escaping from Canada into the safety of LA. So that's it for this video, and I will be back with you tomorrow. Following on from that, I will be covering Harry the Captive with my third video this week. So I'll speak to you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.